Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New York City, Season 12, Episode 5, Not So Model Behavior. All right, this episode opens up and it is New York Fashion Week. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was filming at the same time as Real Housewives of New York. And they were both at Fashion Week. I feel like we were owed a crossover episode. Anyway, Tinsley is going to be closing the show for Garrow Sparrow. I guess he was on Project Runway. And she's acting all goofy and crazy. She's with Dale and Garrow. And she sees that there's a crown. She's so excited. Now we check in with Luann, who is with Ben, the director of her cabaret show, and they're working on her new show, Marry F. Kill. Every time I'm on stage and I do a Q&A, people always ask me, who would you marry? Who would you F? Who would you kill? And we check in with Ramona, who is screaming at Coco. I know Coco's deaf, but she's like, I need to work on my tummy, Coco, because that's my problem area. Now we check in with Sonia, and it is 5 days before her show, Sonia by Sonia Morgan. It's the first time for that collection. It's not Sonia Morgan, New York. It's Sonia by Sonia Morgan. And I guess her target demographic is 25 to 45. And she's 55, going on 70. Oh, God. Everybody's favorite codependent relationship, Tinsley and Dale, is just hitting a high point right now. It said 3 days before New York Fashion Week, yet this apparently is the day of the Garrow Sparrow show. Tinsley gets out of the car and she's got the crown on already, probably because she had her hair done and it had to be done around the crown, but she sees the dress for the first time completed and she's, oh my God, she's so excited. And Dale's so passive aggressive. It's been 10 years since you've done something like this, Tinsley. But I'm just so proud. So then Dale starts dabbing at her eyes and Tinsley goes, you can't cry. You can't cry because I literally cannot cry right now. I need to compartmentalize. I cannot do this right now. Dale, it's just that you look like yourself again. That's what made me cry. Mama, please. Mama, please. Guys, when are they going to get a spinoff? I need an hour of Tinsley and Dale. Okay, all the ladies show up to support Tinsley. And Dorinda, I'm not going to not show up for Tinsley. I know she loves all these Disney fashion shows. I don't think it's Disney. Maybe she'll find her Yellow Brick Road. So much passive aggression and the show has just begun. Okay, so, she was cute. She was very bouncy and everyone keeps talking about how Tinsley's back. The it girl of, I don't know, the early 2000s, maybe 2006, 2007. That was Tinsley in her heyday. Leah gives a slight backhanded compliment by saying, I was like 19, 20 when I first heard about Tinsley Mortimer. She was the it girl. And yeah, so anyway, Tinsley's back and feeling herself and everybody's happy for her. After the show, she comes back out and Ramona, Tinsley, why did you walk so fast? We couldn't see the dress. I mean, everybody else is saying, great, congratulations, great job. No, of course, Ramona, Tinsley. Okay, now we see Luann backstage of the Pamela Rowland show, and the models, everybody, and she's like, anybody have an extra blow dryer? She just sits down and makes one of the stylists do her hair. In her talking head, she's like, I used to be a model and I just know backstage there's always hairdressers around, so I figured, why not? Maybe because you're not in the show. Okay, so this is like what Ramona is like in real life, I think. Pamela Rowland is in front of like a step and repeat, and people are taking pictures with her. And Ramona just hands her phone to someone. Can you take one with my camera? Thanks. Okay. And then she's getting in. She pushes the other woman who was already there. Like, she takes her place, and then she goes, I just need one with my camera. And the woman's like, okay. Not Pamela Rowland. She's in the middle. This other woman. And then Ramona goes, without you, could just me and her. I don't want to share her. Yeah, okay. Oh my God, you're so rude. It's crazy, but yes, it's Ramona. I know we want Ramona just like that, but somehow that scene reminded me of like what she would be like if you just saw her in the wild. So all the ladies are there now, and Ramona is now talking about Tinsley. And I guess she left quite a mess at Ramona's house. Oh, wait, let me go back. Dorinda has these little stain kits from Madame Paulette's. And she's trying to get Sonia, put them in your gift bags. This is a great gift for people. So Ramona says, yeah, Tinsley, I don't know what she did in there, but like the duvet cover is stained with, I don't know, tomato sauce or something. Then we get the flashback to Tinsley passed out with a plate of spaghetti on the bed. And I guess she left cans and she left a mess. I don't know. So Ramona's talking about that right now, and Tinsley walks up. Ramona gave Tinsley a real dressing down about how she left the room, the condition she left the room in. And, you know, it is just pretty funny coming from Ramona, who tore sconces off the wall at Dorinda's house. But anyway, they get over it. Tinsley said, Tinsley's like, oh, come on. Where did she get that duvet? Bed Bath & Beyond? I'll buy her another one. So anyway, they're sitting down, and Luann said, Tinsley, where's Leah? And she said, oh, she couldn't come. I don't know, there was like a family thing, and she had to go, but she said she'd be back for the luncheon. Well, everyone's kind of like, oh, well, it's hard to get front row seats to a thing like this, so they were not thrilled about that. Then we get a teeny tiny little crossover. We see Melissa Gorga is also at the show, and Nikki Hilton. So apparently this show does not overlap with the Kyle and Shahida show. So during the entire Pamela Rowland show, Sonia was on her phone texting, making arrangements for her own show. But like literally, reading glasses on, texting in the front row. There has been nothing but bad behavior since this episode started. And not the fun kind. Okay, all the ladies now are at lunch, and it's beautiful. It's on the rivers, an outdoor, nice table outside. It's pretty. Ramona goes, I'm gonna get the oysters. Dorinda goes, can I tell you guys a story about Ramona and her oysters? We were out together, and she got 24 oysters. I said, can I have one? She said, can you order your own? 24! In her confessional, Dorinda said, and the way she eats them, it's disgusting. It's like, ooh, Neptune's treasure. Fruit of the sea. All right, so Sonia's losing it. I guess they want her to put her phone down, and she's talking about all the things she has to do and everything that's wrong, and this is so important. You have to just let me work. I'm going to go. I'm going to go because I need to take care of this. And they're like, no, 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 no. Sit down. It's fine. What can we do to help? And anyway, so now she's sitting down, and she's on her phone. She's like, let me just handle like 2 or 3 things here. So they're like, okay. So meanwhile, Leah comes, and she sits down, and she's like, sorry, guys. I just needed to take care of something. Not a mental breakdown, but like a breakthrough. Luann goes, what happened? Ramona, don't you think you could have called? Because it really wasn't very nice of you. I got front row seats at that show. That's not easy. You were really rude. Finally, Leah just tells them the reason she couldn't make it is because her dad called and said that her mom doesn't want to talk to her anymore. And she's tearing up. And Ramona said, why doesn't she want to talk to you anymore? What happened? Leah starts to explain, you know, when you've been sober for 9 years and then you start to drink again. So I guess the deal is Leah told her parents that she drank. And her mom got really upset because she knows what Leah was like before when she was drinking. And she thinks that Leah's going to go back to that deep, dark place. And Luann said, well, how do you feel? And she said, I feel okay. I don't regret it. I felt like I was in a safe environment to let loose like that. I had a hangover the next day. I'm not used to that, but that's like the worst of it. She understands too. She's like, in her confessional, Leah said that her mom still views her as that teenager who was wild and got into real trouble. And she's fearful. You know, as a mom, I get it. If you think your daughter has a problem with drugs or alcohol and she's been, you know, sober for 9 years, finding out that she drank, that's going to be tough. So anyway, she had called her dad after Tinsley's fashion show and wanted to talk to her mom, or maybe she had been trying to reach her mom and she didn't hear from her. And her dad said, yeah, she's really mad and she doesn't want to talk to you. Tinsley's trying to relate to Leah by telling the story of how Dale didn't want her to wear her hair curly for the fashion show today, which her hair is curly. Dale thinks, Tinsley, your hair's so pretty when it's straight. But Tinsley wanted it curly. Tinsley won, and that became a big fight. But Tinsley kept going on and on and on. The story was quite long across the table. Dorinda's like, I can't make any comment about this. She picks up a butter knife and she's like, I just kind of like, in her confessional, she's like, I mean, even Mother Teresa couldn't be expected to listen to that debate between straight hair and curly hair for that long. Okay, now we are with Leah, and she's heading into her office for Married to the Mob, which is her business she started. And she talked about how she was one of the first companies to have streetwear for women. She just thought that everything she wanted to wear was made for guys. Anything that was out there for women was like just too girly, and that was not her. And she thought, I can't be the only woman that doesn't want to dress like that. So she created Married to the Mob. We're in her office. She's talking to somebody, and I don't know if she's being interviewed or not. I wasn't sure, but she's talking to this guy about it, and she's had the business for 15 years. And then this guy walks in. He just sits down on a couch, and we find out that that's Rob. That's her daughter's father. Okay, so she goes over to talk to Rob, and, you know, she describes it as a great marriage without living in the same place or having sex. So she said, did you see Kiki? And he said, yeah, I dropped her off with your mother. And Leah said, did she say anything? And he said, no, she came in, I went out. And Leah goes, Rob, don't start. I didn't think he was starting anything. I didn't even catch it. Maybe she saw a look on his face. But he kind of agrees with her mom that her drinking again is not a good idea. He thinks it might be kind of destructive. Side note, does anybody else think Rob is cute? I'm like kind of into him, and I don't know why. Like there's kind of something about him. I don't know. Anywho, she's upset because she thinks that, you know, she can handle it and doesn't have a problem. You know what I'm sensing? I'm sensing that the people in her life that knew her when she was drinking possibly were seeing things more clearly than she was. And now I'm worried about her drinking again, even though I wanted that so badly. When I first heard that she was sober, I was like, no. And then when I heard she's going to start drinking again, I was pretty happy about that. But of course, I don't want somebody to ruin their life. She's got a 12-year-old daughter. I mean, I'm not a monster. I just want to be entertained. Is that too much to ask? No, I mean, seriously, it's the same with like Luann. It's the same with all of them. Why can't they just be slightly off the rails? So Rob is like, listen, it's your prerogative. You could do what you want, but you know, you have our daughter to consider. And she goes, I would never, I promise you, I would never. And he said, okay, I mean, that's fine. But also, you know, your mom is the only help that you and I have with our daughter, and you have to give her the respect she deserves. Leah starts to cry again. And she said, you know, there's still conflict with us. All I feel is judgment from her. And Rob's like, well, you know, that's what parents do. Also, side note, Rob appears to be stifling a laugh, which is not cool. And he's also looking off, my guess is like at the camera. Yeah, I get that he's new at this. It's his first scene. But, you know, maybe don't smile while Leah is crying about her relationship with her mom. Just a thought. Okay, now we are with Dorinda, and she is getting ready to go to Sonia's fashion show. Dorinda tells us in the voiceover that Sonia was kind enough to send all of the ladies a couple of different choices of items from her line to wear to her show. So I guess she's chosen like sort of a sequiny jacket. And now her makeup artist is there. As he's doing her makeup, he's asking her how John is. And she's like, John is fine. And he goes, what's wrong? Well, he never misses an opportunity to make a bad decision. I guess John went to an event that they were both invited to, but Dorinda didn't want to go to because it's too big, too many people. And he went without her. And she thinks that because they have been in a relationship for 7.5 years, if she doesn't feel like going, he should not want to go either and just kind of stay in with her and hang out. I mean, not like, I get that, but also it's not like he wanted to go without her. He wanted her to go. I don't know. Don't you like how I'm trying to be fair to John Pedestrian? Isn't that big of me? Well, now we see backstage at Sonia's fashion show, and oh boy, remind me never to apply for a job for Sonia Morgan. Not great. Okay, Leah and Tinsley are in the car together heading to Sonia's show. And Tinsley is in this very cute little like white lace dress. And Leah is in kind of a cool dress. It's got like pictures of different people on it. I can't see it well enough to tell like exactly what it is, but it's graphic and it's pretty cool. Leah tells Tinsley she looks great, and Tinsley's like, you look great too, but you're not wearing Sonia by Sonia Morgan. And Leah goes, yeah, okay, so here's what happened. I texted her 3 dresses that I loved. And then we get to see like a little bit of the text chain, and she's like, oh my God, I love your collection. It's great. These 3 dresses are kind of my style, but you know, I love all of them. And what Sonia sent her was like sweatpants and a crop sweatshirt. Maybe it looked like, I couldn't tell. It might've been a knit, I don't know. And it was just kind of a pale gray. Along with that, like a pink fedora and big sunglasses. It was like things that were gathered in a scavenger hunt. And Tinsley said, oh, and is that all she sent you? And Leah goes, yeah. And Tinsley goes, oh, because she actually sent me 2 dresses. This was the one I picked. So yeah, Leah's like, she's so passive aggressive, and I can't stand passive aggressive people. Welcome to episode 5. It's all about passive aggression. In her confessional, she goes, I'm pretty sure Sonia's trying to send me a message. I don't know. It's like her version of me waking up with a horse head in my bed. Oh, wait, hold up. I'm confused. Ramona just got there and she's like, I don't understand what Sonia's doing because she doesn't have a line. She's just selling finished products. She doesn't have a designer. It's just merchandise that's already made. Is that true? Is that true? I didn't know that. So, I mean, and she's showing at New York Fashion Week? All right, so John shows up. Dorinda didn't even know he was coming. Well, she hasn't spoken to him in a couple days because he's been texting her and she's been kind of icing him out. But he's like, hi, babe. And he gives her a mushy kiss. Ugh. You know it's wet. And you know, like, his lips are really soft, but not soft in a good way. Soft in like the underbelly of a fish, maybe? Something along those lines. And as usual, I can smell his cologne from here. So Tinsley and Leah come in, and Dorinda's like, oh, that's the prettiest, that Sonia Morgan. And Tinsley's like, yes, is yours? And she said, yeah, the jacket is yours? And Leah's like, no, it's Little Kim. So yes, I think it's a mugshot of Little Kim. And now Leah is being accosted by John. Leah, make sure you eyeball where the exits are. Oh my God. Of course, Ramona is not wearing a Sonia by Sonia Morgan dress either. No, I couldn't fit into it. I couldn't zip it up. Maybe that's true. I don't know. But literally everyone is asking Leah about her dress. And she keeps saying, no. And they're acting like, no, it just didn't work. But she's carrying the sweatsuit around in a plastic bag because she is going to give it back to Sonia. Oh, guys, Elise is here again. She doesn't have to be on much and she doesn't have to say much. But what she does say is usually good. Leah pulls out her sweatsuit. And she's like, this is what I was supposed to wear. And Elise goes, what did you do to deserve that? Exactly, Elise. So the fashion show starts, and Tinsley's like, oh, what's happening? Because the girls just start walking down the aisle, and she goes, there was no music, there was no lights on the girls. It was just like these girls started walking past. So every time a girl would walk past, Leah was like, oh, I would have worn that. I would have worn that. And then now everyone is chiming in. Dorinda, Leah, that would have been cute on you. I mean, literally anything other than this sweatsuit that looks like it was made by Hanes. Okay, so now everyone is congratulating Sonia afterward. And, oh God. And she's like, I love your dress. Who is that, Beyonce? And Leah's like, and she goes, what happened to the two-piece cashmere set I sent you? All right, so it was cashmere. But still, it looked, literally, she held up those pants, and they were this wide. And Leah is about this wide. So, yeah, they look like they would have fit me. Just saying. Leah, if you want to send them over. My address is on my homepage. Jill Informed. So Leah said, I think you're full of shit. I think you're passive aggressive. And I think you're still mad at me from the Hamptons. And Sonia goes, well, then can I have it back? Because I want to wear it. Because she's letting everybody keep the clothing that she gave them. And Leah was all too happy to go get the bag. She kind of throws it at her. And Sonia goes, I gave you a nice bag. And Leah goes, are you kidding me? It was ripped. Sonia is now putting the sweatsuit on, but like out in front of everyone. Well, she pulled up, she's got a dress on. She pulled the sweatpants on, and then she starts like pulling her dress down, and everyone's like, no. And she said, I've never seen Leah in a dress, and I thought she would like this. I thought she would look nice in it. You can hear Tinsley say, would you really want to wear this tonight, though? I mean, it's just crazy. In her confessional, she said, all my dresses are frilly and girly, and I didn't think Leah would like that. Well, we know that's a lie because Leah sent her a picture of 3 dresses that she really liked a lot, and she told her, this is kind of my style. So maybe you are a little passive-aggressive, Sonia. Well, Sonia's got the whole outfit on, including the hat, not the sunglasses. She comes strutting up to Leah and kind of rubs up against her. And Leah just starts laughing, and she's like, oh my God, I can't even stay mad at her. And that was the end of this episode. Okay, guys, as always, if you're on the fence about subscribing to Jill Informed, go ahead, give it a try. You just might like it. If you liked this particular episode, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I will be back next week with the next recap of The Real Housewives of New York City. It is also the end of Luann's sobriety, so you don't want to miss that. Stay safe, stay home, wash your hands. Love you guys. Bye.